So my coffee's hot, it's cold in Florida. I feel like it's a good day to talk about Miles Sanders.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. Today I want to talk about Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders has been the topic of discussion for a while in a lot of different circles, talking about if the Philadelphia Eagles should pay him or not. Obviously, this is his final year under contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, and we have a big decision to make. But before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 4K, so we would love for you guys to join that ride. But let's get right into it. So if you know me, you know I am a Penn State fan. I am a huge Nittany Lions fan. So for me to say this is gonna hurt. Maybe that gives a little bit of a forewarning of what this video is gonna entail. But look, Miles Sanders has been very unavailable, if we're being very honest. Miles Sanders, unfortunately, has dealt with a lot of injuries. He's dealt with a lot of lack of touches, right? You know, the Eagles just don't seem to want to use him as that #1 workhorse back. When we've given him the ball and when we've given him the opportunities to be that #1 guy, I feel like he has stepped up to the plate, don't get me wrong. But I don't feel like we've given it to him enough, and I don't feel like that I can go back and look at one full season and say Miles Sanders has been that guy. You know, Miles Sanders is a great running back in my opinion as far as talent goes, but there's a lot of good running backs in this draft as far as talent goes. We still gonna have Boston Scott after this year because he is a restricted free agent. I doubt that they just let him walk. They could, but I doubt that they do that. But you look in this draft, you look at the Kenneth Walkers, the Breece Halls, you know, the Dameon Pierce, you go down the list, there's a lot of good running backs, James Cook, in this draft that we can go ahead, plug and play, especially behind this offensive line. I've been one to say it, and I will stick to it. This offensive line is what makes this running game so special. You know, not just that we have good running backs. I do think that Jordan Howard has played his role. Think that Miles Sanders, in his limited time, unfortunately, has played his role. You know, obviously we've seen some great things out of Boston Scott. Kenneth Gainwell is coming along. I don't think he's there yet, but he's coming along. But I think that you can go ahead and put any talented guy behind this roster, behind this offensive line, and you can make it work. So I'm not looking to give Miles Sanders a big bag, and unfortunately, I don't really know what a big bag is for a running back anymore. I don't think anybody does. Or, you know, we look at the contracts that Zeke got. We look at the contracts that Derrick Henry got. We can look at the contracts that these big-time running backs have gotten. And maybe, you know, outside of Derrick Henry, you know, you look at Christian McCaffrey, the guys that get these big contracts don't really pan out. So I'm not looking to give him a big contract, and I don't think he really deserves a Derrick Henry or a Christian McCaffrey or a Zeke Elliott type of contract. If we can retain him for like $6 million, if we can retain him for like $6-7 million, I think that's fair. I think that that's something we have to realistically be open to as a team and as a franchise. But if he wants more than that, it might just be time to cut ties. Do I think that he can go ahead and get a big contract somewhere else? Possibly. Next year in free agency will be very interesting to see who's out there at the running back position. Also, it will be interesting to see who's coming out in the draft. But he's obviously looking to make his impact this year. If the Philadelphia Eagles don't give him that bell cow type of work, if he's not getting 15 to 20 type carries every game, it's going to be very hard for him to make a case to any team that he deserves a big contract or he deserves that #1 running back type money. So I would love to see Miles Sanders as a part of this, you know, group that we have going. You know, I think that we like to have 3 running backs. I think we like to have that stable of guys that we can, you know, rely on and not just burn one guy out. I would love for him to be a part of that. I just don't see it. I kind of feel like I'm starting to see the writing on the wall with the way that, you know, Howie Roseman's speaking. Obviously, he said he wants to upgrade this team now. He's not worried about the future. I think that you can upgrade at the running back position. Maybe not right now, maybe not in this draft if you don't want to, maybe not in this free agency, but I can see next year us looking at our situation and saying, hey, we can probably get a little bit better than what Miles Sanders has given us, and maybe for a little bit cheaper, and maybe a little bit younger. So I just wanted to throw my hat in this conversation because I am a Penn State fan. I am a Booby Miles Sanders fan. I love Miles Sanders, and I hope nothing but the best for him, don't get me wrong. But looking at it from an Eagles point of view, an Eagles fan point of view, I just don't see the necessary value in giving somebody like him the money. You see the glasses are fogging up. This is hard for me to say, you know what I'm saying? Because I love my boy Miles. But it is what it is, man. We got to be realistic about it. You know, we got to be real, and we got to look at it from a team perspective. We aren't the team that wants to spend money. Not many teams want to spend money on the running back position. So that's just how I'm feeling. How do you think this situation is going to work out? Do you see Miles Sanders getting a long-term contract? Do you see Miles Sanders back with the Philadelphia Eagles after this year? And what would you pay him? I think that's the biggest question. What would you pay him? Let me know in the comments. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is fly, Eagles fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Everywhere, this is for you.
Fly, Eagles fly, and we on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling with Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog, or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.